It's a juicy one. I like it. And let's just talk about it. So Holden Canton, or Cantor, I always mess up because my Canadian O's kick in, but love him on Twitter. Big fan of what he does. And he pointed this out to me, and I don't have the clip with me because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but I did listen to Kelly Stafford's podcast. And so he said here, was listening to Kelly Stafford's podcast again this AM. They went to watch the Super Bowl at McVay's house. That's Kelly and Matthew. After the Chiefs won, Matthew turns to Kelly and says, "Don't worry, we're going to beat them in the Super Bowl next year." And, obviously Holden like that. Not so do I, and so do most Ram fans. And he went on to say, she also mentioned he didn't feel the hunger. She didn't feel the hunger from everyone going into the season. It was more of a, here we go again. But now she senses that hunger from McVay and Stafford. So I love seeing stories like this. I love getting little windows into players' lives, and obviously the wife of our quarterback gives us a little bit of a window into what's going on there, especially because Matthew Stafford is pretty media savvy. He's pretty even keeled, and you like seeing that. You like hearing about that, and so I'm excited to hear that Kelly Stafford is seeing a change in Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay's attitude. I also just like hearing that McVay hosted a Super Bowl party. Does he have cans of chunky Campbell's soup, or do they all just eat super healthy or something? I would love to go to that Super Bowl party and know what happens there. But anyway, that I just thought that was really cool. Sharing that off the top. Let me know what you think. I think a lot of people are not caring about the Rams right now. Outside of the Ramley, outside of Ram fans, a lot of people are just okay, they had a bad year. And when people talk to me that aren't Ram fans, they're like, "Oh yeah, what happened to the Rams? They fell off a cliff." Well, and then I tell them about all the injuries, and I tell them about the inconsistencies and the O-line and things like that. And people are like, "Oh, really? Okay." And then they just go on with their merry lives, and that's totally fine. But I really think that we are underestimating the ability of this team to bounce back. And I'm optimistic that we can have a good offseason, that we can get right. We can get our offensive line back to a top tier unit, and let's go win some games. I think the Rams are going to surprise a lot of people next year, and I am okay with that. I'm totally okay being the team that no one saw coming. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. Clearly, Kelly and Matthew are ready to get back into Super Bowl contention, and so am I.